What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Nicole Banister, aka Nikki Banz, coming to you live from Cape Town, South Africa. Today is Tuesday, so you already know the vibes. This is Nikki Banz live. Ooh, ooh. Party over here, say ooh, ooh. What up, what up, what up, what up, party people? I see Chimano in the building. Hello, my friend. Hello, hello. An amazing guest here on Nikki Banz Live. We did a whole toast with a wonderful glass of wine. I have orange juice tonight. I'm being much more wholesome. Orange juice in a recycled honey jar. Your girl Nikki Banz is being real wholesome, real down to earth today. So cheers to you, Chimano. Cheers to all of you who are here on Nikki Banz Live tonight. What's up, everybody? It's amazing to see you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I know that Nikki Banz Live fans, friends, and followers are tuning in from Kenya, from Mexico, from Uzbekistan, from who knows where in the world. Like, it's absolutely incredible, and it's such a vibe. It's such a pleasure to be able to connect with all of you and to see all of you here. This is Nikki Banz Live, your absolute favorite interview series where every single Tuesday I am bringing you the most dynamic, the most interesting, the most insightful interviews with the dopest people from across the globe. Every single week I am bringing you a brand new guest from a brand new country. And I'm telling you, this is exactly what we need in this world in order to shift people's perspectives, in order to create an environment that is inclusive, in order to create a world where we are regularly and thoughtfully being conscious of and listening to different people's opinions. I'm telling you, we need so much more of that in the world. Traditional media ain't gonna show it to you. Sometimes social media and the algorithms ain't gonna show it to you either. But trust and believe, every single Tuesday, your girl, Nikki Banz, is bringing it to you live and direct. So what's up, everybody? Thank you for being here. If you have not followed me on Instagram yet, go ahead and give me a follow at They Call Me Banz. If you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, you gotta head over to YouTube, youtube.com/@Nicole Banister, aka Nikki Banz. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in. I see we got Rashid in the building. What's up, Rashid? Uganda's hottest content creator based in Dubai, an amazing videographer and up-and-coming superstar. What's up, Rashid? It was amazing to see you in Dubai a couple weeks ago. I see we got Frank in the building. What's up, Frank? Long time no chat, homie. I hope you are well. We got the one and only FUSM in the building. Yes, another phenomenal guest here on Nikki Banz Live with a very compelling story, an expert fashion designer to the stars, and just an amazing human. Linda Marie, Skylight Isha, Safa, one of the amazing guest judges from Bahrain on my YouTube show. Started up season 1. Safa was one of the most incredible judges. What's up, Safa? Amazing to see you here. And that is a perfect segue. So you all know your girl Nikki Banz hosts 2 shows regularly, right? One is Nikki Banz Live, which is every single Tuesday, and the other one is Started Up. And Started Up is my YouTube series. It's an absolutely incredible show based on the Global Student Entrepreneur Awards. So Global Student Entrepreneur Awards, GSEA, is literally this competition for university students from around the world where every single student from all over is competing for a $50,000 cash prize. They are pitching their business ideas. They're all business owners. They're all CEOs and founders of their own businesses, but social impact businesses in particular. So businesses that actually have some kind of an impact in this world, whether it is creating jewelry out of terracotta, using this like ancient clay to make jewelry and then employ women across India, or whether it is a hotel marketing app that makes it easier for people staying in hotels and for hotels to be able to connect with their clients. These students, I'm telling you, are literally the future. They are literally changing the world. Started Up season 1 is on YouTube. The show has over 5 million views on YouTube, which is absolutely incredible. It's a mini series with 4 episodes. And you already know your girl Nikki Banz is the hostess with the mostest, guiding you through this epic competition. And right now we are in the middle of filming Season 2! Yes! We're in the middle of filming season 2 right now. Most of y'all saw that I was in the studio last week, 2 weeks ago. Y'all saw that I was in the studio. Lights, camera, action, the whole shebang. We had hair and makeup, making sure I was looking fabulous. We had a stylist making sure that my clothes were on point. We had the lighting guys who were making sure that there was blue lights and red lights and no shadows and all this stuff. We had the mic guy who always had to be digging in my shirt and be like, I need to move the mic here, I need to tape it down here, tape it here. I mean, I'm telling you, it is a full-blown production. And season 2 of Started Up, where you can watch a new group of students. We've got a guy from Kenya. We've got a woman from the United States. Who else? We have someone from Germany. I'm telling you, these students are from every single country around the world competing for this cash prize and pitching their business ideas to the judges. So, Started Up season 2 in progress. It's going to be launching this June. So it's super exciting, y'all. I'm so stoked. Like I said, it's on my YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, youtube.com/@Nicole Banister, aka Nikki Banz, and you already know you can go watch season 1 there. Watch season 1 before season 2 comes out. I'm telling y'all. And I'm gonna spill some tea. Just a little tea, a little something, you know what I mean? The little bit of tea that I'm gonna spill is that actually it's so interesting because we filmed the show out of order. So we filmed episode 3 before we filmed episode 1, 2, or 4. So I'm giving you all a little BTS of how we do it in the studio, behind the scenes. This is literally how we do it, right? We literally filmed out of order because we wanted to focus on the students who are going to be going through to the finals of the competition instead of filling y'all with other students who maybe aren't going to make it. So we've already filmed we've already filmed episode 3. And we're going to film episode 1, 2, and 4 in the coming weeks. So your girl, Nikki Banz, is going to be in and out of the studio, in and out. I know 2 weeks ago I had to not have the show on the Tuesday because I was in the studio. But trust and believe, any Tuesday I can have this show, we are going to be here on and popping. Okay, party people. I see awesome people here. I see Noni Kiwe in the building. What's up? I see Dr. Socrates, Josh Chalk, one of my biggest fans. Keep rocking to you too. Rhonda in the building. I saw Helga was in the building. What's up? Priyaska is here. Hello. Unis Jew. What's up, everybody? It's amazing to see all of you here. Thank you for being here. So much love. So much good vibes. So, I have a surprise for you. Drum roll, please. The surprise is, and I'm going to post it in the comments so you can see it live as I announce it. Today is a fireside chat, y'all. Oh, snap. Okay, if you are unfamiliar with the Nikki Banz live fireside chat, what that means is that your girl Nikki Banz is going to be dropping some gems, dropping some bars. There is no special guest here today, party people. I am your special guest, okay? You get to hear from me directly, live and direct, coming to you hot from Cape Town, and I'm going to talk about a topic, and we're going to get into it. Y'all going to be commenting in the chat. Y'all going to be letting me know what y'all want me to talk about, but I have a topic for today, and the topic is, can you guess what the topic is for today's fireside chat? Tell me in the comments. I want to see what you think the topic is for today's fireside chat. Okay, but let me just say that this is fireside chat number 3, y'all. And I have to say, I'm pretty excited about it. I've had 2 of them before, and they were all about sort of like self-confidence. They're about making your way in the world. Absolutely incredible. Okay, also, slight pause. Justin in the building. Hello, Justin. Another phenomenal Nikki Banz live guest who is an incredible content creator, giving you every single tip and trick that you need to be an excellent videographer. Like, you want to make full on movie level stories and videos, you need to go to Justin at Justin_Joseph_Espejo. What's up, Justin? I still need to post your interview on YouTube. I'm going to be doing that soon. Don't worry. All right, everybody. It is in the works. Don't mind me. I was just taking a little sip of some orange juice here. Okay, I see Ocam's Razor saying, talk about intercultural dating. Okay, hey, intercultural dating. Okay, no, honestly, for real, I do need to have a Nikki Banz live episode where I talk about dating and relationships and consent. Honestly, yes to all that. That will not be the fireside chat today, but that's definitely like a topic I need to have. That's going to be coming up soon. Faux show. So basically, I do the Fireside Chat series when I feel like I have things that I want to share directly with y'all. When I have guests, I am very thoughtful and very intentional about the guests that I bring onto this show. I am only bringing you movers and shakers. I'm only bringing you top tier, elite, interesting people from every single country. So I don't want to just bring on any random person to come on the show. Honestly, I am selective, I am thoughtful, and I am intentional about who I bring to you, because I always want you to leave this show inspired, motivated, and thinking about what's next, right? And what you can do to excel and to succeed and to thrive in this world that we live in. Okay, so that's always what I want to do. So when I can't find someone, when I don't book someone to come onto this show for any given week, I'm just going to chop it up with y'all with a fireside chat. Like, it's not worth it for me to just throw it to somebody random. I want to have thoughtful, intentional conversations with you all. So I'm super excited that you're all here. I see Helga in the building saying, bring back my basketball team for that topic. Yes. So some of y'all might be aware that before I started Nikki Banz Live, I actually started another sort of social media platform that was called My Basketball Team. And My Basketball Team was based on the idea that anybody that you've ever been intimate with in your life is on your team. And it was a sex blog. Let's be straight up. Let me not say it was. It is. It still exists. It's inactive, but it still exists. It is a sex blog, and you can literally go find it on Facebook. You can find it on Instagram at My Basketball Team. And it's literally a collection of stories from people around the world I'm sharing their stories anonymously. They literally DM me on the website. I have an email submission page, and so literally people would just send me stories, positive stories about dating, about relationships, and I would post them anonymously on My Basketball Team. And this is something that was very near and dear to my heart, because talking about sexual health, talking about relationships, talking about intimacy is something that we're oftentimes so scared to do. Like, these are conversations that maybe our parents didn't have with us. These are conversations that maybe our older siblings didn't have with us. These are conversations that oftentimes, as young people, we end up like finding these things out for ourselves, right? Like, we just go out and explore and try and figure out what it means to date, what it means to have consensual, safe sex, what it means to be in a healthy relationship, right? And My Basketball Team is a platform where people can actually go and read stories of awkward, embarrassing, funny, spontaneous things that happened, and really realize that there are so many different elements of what it means to be in a relationship. So if you haven't checked that out at My Basketball Team, that's going to be a fireside chat for another day, y'all. That's not going to be the topic today. I'm going to just be straight up. We're not talking about that today. But My Basketball Team is there if you want to read those stories, and it will be live. It will be active one day. Once I have a team to run it, launch it, scale it, for sure My Basketball Team will be coming back. Shout out to Sai, who's in the building, On the Ground with Sai, an amazing content creator out of India, a citizen journalist telling the most extraordinary stories about ordinary people all around India. He is a very special guest who's been here on Nikki Banz Live. I see Christina's in the building. Hello, Christine, my dear friend here in Cape Town. Henry Brown, what's up? I don't know who you are, but what's up, Henry Brown? Good to see you. Yes, Justin and Sai, you two know each other. What's up? Honestly, I'm gonna put it out here into the universe right now. One day, your girl Nikki Banz is going to have a conference, or a retreat, basically, where I bring all of my Nikki Banz Live guests from all over the world together, and we're gonna collaborate. Like, all of the movie directors, all of the actors, all the rappers, all the singers, all the dancers, all the content creators, all the entrepreneurs. I'm going to bring every single one of those people together on a private island. We're going to have a super exclusive retreat, Nikki Banz Live guests only, and it's going to be an absolutely phenomenal opportunity to learn, to grow, and to create relationships and establish connections across the world. Like, imagine that a Nigerian Olympian is talking to the Lebanese mountain climber who was the first Arab woman to, summit K2, right? Like literally connecting across sports, across entertainment, across all these different industries. So yeah. Anyway, I'm manifesting that. I'm gonna need all y'all to manifest that with me, because that's what we're doing. I'm saying it here now. It's gonna happen. I don't know when. We need to get some big sponsors to sponsor this, but it's gonna happen one day. Inshallah. Yes, Justin, let's do it. Yes, Afua. Wow. Yes. Okay, let me take a sip. This is the only thing about these fireside chats. I'll just be talking to y'all for as we talking. So I'm gonna need to sip on that holy water. Speaking of holy water, what you need to do is if you are here in Cape Town, South Africa, yo girl Nikki Banz, you're going to hear it here first. Your girl Nikki Banz is going to be launching another exclusive drop of the Holy Water postcard series. You guys know that I released a limited edition postcard collection earlier this year with the most gorgeous images of Cape Town, South Africa, and beaches. I released that collection earlier this year. It sold out. Like, maybe I have like one set left. So if anybody wants one set of postcards, I do have one set left. But like, slide into my DMs if you want some postcards. $35 for the whole world in the US, 450 Rand in South Africa. But literally, I'm going to be releasing another exclusive drop of postcards because my good friend Shabnam has opened a coffee shop here in Cape Town. She's opened this like beautiful coffee and sandwich shop. It is called Amore. It's at 48 Reebig Street. It is an absolutely gorgeous venue. It's so lively, so full of energy, wonderful. And your girl Nikki Banz is stocking exclusive limited edition postcards of Cape Town at the sandwich shop. So go support my homegirl Shabnam with her amazing new sandwich bar on Reebig Street called Amore. And in the meantime, you can also go buy some postcards of Cape Town from yours truly. So shout out to all the Cape Town people. Y'all need to go do that. Go check it out and support me and support my friend. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, y'all, we are 15 minutes into Nikki Banz Live, and I haven't even told y'all what we're talking about today, but honestly, I'm just having so much fun talking to you, so yeah. But this is what I wanted to talk about today. What I want to talk about is travel! Yes, friends, we are talking about travel. I think a lot of people out there have a lot of questions for me, always about travel. Y'all see me spending 48 hours in Dubai for a weekend. Y'all see me flying to Zanzibar, the weekend before that. Y'all see me going to Los Angeles for 2 months, 3 months in the middle of the year. Y'all see me coming to Cape Town, and then I go to Morocco, and then I go to Greece. Like, I know y'all know I'm all over the place in this Fireside Chat. Fireside Chat number 3 of Nikki Banz Live. I want to break down how exactly I do that, because I know y'all like, damn, does Nikki Banz have millions of dollars that she just shells out on all these flights? No. The answer is no. Hard no. Your girl Nikki Banz is balling on a budget, okay? Hopefully it's not going to be like that forever. Netflix, call me. I'm ready for my $1 million check, okay? But until that happens, no. I'm balling on a budget, and I want to drop some tips, and I want to drop some facts on how I travel the world and how I'm able to do that. And I'm going to try and keep it as inclusive as possible. I know some of the privilege I have to travel is 100% because I have a blue passport. I know that 100%, that because I am a citizen of the good old US of A, I can travel to a lot of places easily and more freely than some other people can't. I 100% understand that, and I know that's difficult, and I know that's challenging. However, there are still lots of opportunities to travel in ways that you can travel to certain places, even domestically or regionally, wherever you live, that truly, are going to offer you an experience to immerse yourself in a different culture, a different religion, a different language, all of the things. So, party people, let's talk travel. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know if you have questions. Just keep them coming. I'm just going to talk. Y'all got to keep it coming. You let me know what travel questions you have. And the 3 topics that I want to cover today are as follows. Number 1, we are going to be talking about flights. We're going to be talking about flights, number 1, because look, I'm going to be traveling internationally. The reality is like you're most likely going to be flying, right? So we're going to talk about flights. That's number 1. Number 2, we are going to be talking about accommodation, okay? Accommodation is the second thing that we're going to talk about when it comes to traveling. And then the third thing we're going to be talking about, drum roll please, is why. Why do we travel? What's the purpose? What's the point? Things I think about when I travel, things I want you to think about when we travel as well. So party people, this is Nikki Banz Live, the Fireside Chat edition. It's Fireside Chat number 3, where your girl Nikki Banz does not have a guest on, but I am giving you deep life advice, dropping gems, dropping bars, dropping knowledge from my heart, from my soul, over to you. And today's topic is travel. First topic of conversation is flights. Second is accommodation. And the third one is why travel in the first place. So let's get into it. Also, let me just give a little shout out. I got the rings on. I'm always so intentional about what I wear, what I'm showing to you all. This amazing ring, right? Oh, you can't even see it because of the ring light. Okay, well, there's a ring there. This ring and these beautiful earrings are from the amazing duo in Kenya, Endo Squared. The amazing sisters are half Japanese, half Kenyan. beautiful artists, and I love them to death. Shout out to my girl Amani, who's in the building, who is my best friend in the world, and the plug. She's the plug who always brings me everything I need from Endo Square. She brings it from Kenya to Zanzibar to the UK to the US to South Africa. We just be like taking stuff all over the world because they only sell in Kenya, and I gotta have their stuff. So shout out to those girls. Shout out this beautiful ring here, this evil eye here. Shout out to Asa Kaftans in Los Angeles. Beautiful Persian shop with all sorts of things. For the record, y'all, these are not sponsored. Your girl Nikki Banz is not giving out sponsored shout outs. I am just super intentional about supporting women-owned businesses, about supporting Black-owned businesses, about supporting local businesses. So I will always tell you about them and who I'm wearing and what I'm wearing and why, just because I think we need to be more thoughtful and more intentional about what we're wearing. The other thing is you're going to see your girls wearing Africa, your time is now. This is a beautiful t-shirt. I literally actually have it in black and I have it in white. I was like, I need it all. I need it both. Africa, your time is now. This is an incredible shirt from the shop Merchants on Long in K-Town, which has a lot of Black-owned businesses, a lot of local businesses here in South Africa. So shout out to Merchants on Long for the swag, for the drip. Okay, let's talk travel. So party people, y'all want to travel the world? Y'all want to be jet setting like Nikki Banz? Y'all want to hashtag travel with Banz? Yes, that's what you want to do. So let's talk about how you actually do it. First things first is the flights. If you're going to be traveling internationally, or if you live in a country like maybe India or the Philippines, where like the country is either massive or has like 800 different little islands, you're going to have to be taking flights, right? And flights are basically an expense that you can't get rid of, right? Like accommodation, for example, you could stay with a friend, you could stay with family. You might not have to pay accommodation. You're definitely going to have to pay for a flight. So how do you do it? There's a couple of hacks that I use. Excuse me. There's a couple of hacks that I use to make sure that when I am flying around the world, I'm getting the best possible deals. And I'm going to tell them to you right now. Let me take a little sip. All right, y'all. Let's get into it. First and foremost, my biggest tip is to pick an airline that you like and stick with it. Let me say that again. Pick an airline that you like and stick with it. Do not buy the cheapest flight because it's the cheapest flight. What you do when you do that, when you pick a different airline every single time you fly and you don't stick with one consistently, what that means is that you have no points, you have no frequent flyer miles. Frequent flyer miles and credit card points are literally your two keys to flying for free or flying much cheaper or much discounted anytime you travel around the world. What's up, everybody? For those of you who are just joining, this is Nikki Banz Live Fireside Chat. We're literally talking travel and travel tips. We're talking flights, accommodation, and why travel. I'm on flights right now. So you need to pick an airline that you like and stick with it. Stop moving to a bunch of different airlines just because they're cheap. If you like Qatar and they fly the routes that you normally like to fly, then fly Qatar every single time. If you like United Airlines and they fly all the routes that you're pretty consistently going to fly to, every single time you fly United. I don't care if it's United, I don't care if it's Ethiopian, I don't care if it's Qatar, I don't care if it's Emirates. Pick one and fly that airline every single time. Why? Because what you're going to do is you're going to get a frequent flyer number. You're going to sign up for the Qatar Airways Privilege Program. You're going to sign up for the South African Airways Voyager Program. You're going to sign up for the United Miles Program, okay? Sign up for that program and figure out what alliance they're in. Airlines all over the world have collaborated together to form alliances so that you get points even when you fly other airlines, but they're still in the same alliance. So for example, let's take Star Alliance. Star Alliance is an airline conglomerate and collaboration, right? That has United Airlines, that has Ethiopian Airlines, that has South African Airways. They're all part of They're all part of Star Alliance, okay? So when you fly Star Alliance and you have a South African Airways frequent flyer number, it's okay. You fly South African Airways, you're gonna get points on that flight. You fly United, you're gonna get points on that flight, still on your same frequent flyer number. Don't have a South African Airways frequent flyer number and then also get a United one if they're in the same alliance. Stick with that one alliance, stick with your one program, pick Ethiopian, pick South African, pick United, pick Lufthansa, whatever it is, right? Pick that one and stick with it every single time. Like, use that airline as your base, right? You got the South African Airways Voyager program, use that airline as the base, and then continue to fly Star Alliance every single time because you're gonna get points. So for example, for Star Alliance, I'm with South African Airways. So every time I fly South African Airways, I get points. Anytime I fly United or Ethiopian or another carrier that's part of Star Alliance, I give them my South African Airways Voyager number, because what that means is I'm going to add frequent flyer points. All right. With Qatar is the airline that I fly the most when I'm traveling all over the world. I try and fly Qatar every single time, especially on huge trips. If I'm flying from South Africa to Los Angeles, if I'm flying from New York to London, like if I'm flying big flights, I'm always gonna fly Qatar. Also they're just like a stellar airline, right? Like they're like one of my favorite airlines in the world. But Qatar is part of the One World Alliance. So there are other airlines part of the One World Alliance. So even if I book with them, I still give them my Qatar number. So every single time I'm getting points. Okay, what is the point of points? What is the point of frequent flyer miles? The point is that using those frequent flyer miles and adding them every single time and time again, means you're gonna start flying for free. You're gonna start getting upgraded for free. You're gonna start getting lounge access for free, right? Not for free, right? You paying for flights. It ain't free. There's no such thing as a free lunch. That's the only thing I took from economics at Georgetown. You know they make you take 2 years of economics at Georgetown. 2 years. I failed all of it. Honestly, I'm horrible at economics. But the one thing that your girl Nikki Banz remembered is that there's no such thing as a free lunch. That I remembered from my econ class at Georgetown. So look, it's not free. You are paying for flights, but it's going to give you hella benefits in the long term. So sign up with an airline that you like. Fly them every single time. It's going to be more expensive in the short term, right? Because maybe Qatar is not the cheapest option. Maybe United is not the cheapest option. Maybe South African is not the cheapest option. Fly them every single time because it's going to save you money in the long term, okay? I know I'm talking a lot. I know I'm dropping a lot on you. If you have questions, tell me in the comments right now so I can make sure that I explain this to you, okay? But that's really one of the best ways to build up a point system over time, and then you can use those frequent flyer miles to get all sorts of perks and all sorts of benefits from the airline. So pick an airline that you like and stick with it. That is my number one tip when it comes to flying. And then to make sure that you use that airline's frequent flyer program and keep flying within the alliance, whether it's Star Alliance or One World Alliance or whatever the other alliance is. Okay, so half the flights that y'all see me flying on, I'm flying for free because I have frequent flyer miles. Okay, like y'all think I'm out here just flying everywhere? No, that flight was free because I used my frequent flyer miles, because I flew Qatar every single time I flew for a long time, right? So use those frequent flyer miles, get a points program, and stick with it. The other thing, and this is largely for folks kind of in Europe or in the United States, but the other thing to consider is getting a credit card that gives you points, okay? So get a credit card like the American Express. Get a credit card like the Chase Sapphire Preferred or the Chase Sapphire Reserve. These are credit cards specifically designed for people who travel. These credit cards give you points on every single purchase that you make. You can get double points, right? They'll have specials, right? You get double points when you buy groceries at this place. You get triple points when you buy a flight with this thing, right? You're paying for stuff anyway, right? This is the secret. A lot of people don't use credit cards in this way. People oftentimes use credit cards because they need to buy stuff that they don't have the cash for. But if you can use a credit card like a debit card, if you can literally swipe your credit card for every single purchase that you make and then you pay it back completely, just like you would a debit card, at the end of the month, you are going to get insane points. You have to buy groceries anyway. You're going to go eat out with your friends anyway. You're going to go take your partner on a date anyway. You're doing all these things anyway. Get a credit card that gives you points on all of these things, because you can then take those points and use them to fly. Okay? What you can do is you take those points from your credit card, like I said, from an Amex, from a Chase Sapphire Preferred, from a Chase Sapphire Reserve. You take those credit card points, you transfer them to an airline partner, they turn into points, and again, you are now traveling for free just based on living your everyday life. Like I said, you're making these purchases anyway. When you purchase on a debit card, you get no points. But when you purchase on a credit card, you're going to get points through the company. So that is my second sort of flying travel hack. Half the flights, I would say honestly, I will genuinely say that 1/3 of my flights I do pay for. 1/3 of them I do pay for myself. The other third I do not pay for because I literally use my frequent flyer miles to fly for free. And the other third I do not pay for because I use my credit card points, straight up. So when y'all see me jet setting around the world, y'all see me flying to Dubai for 48 hours, I did not pay for that plane ticket. I used my credit card points and that flight was free, okay? So use these systems that can actually reward you for using the cards. Your regular debit card is not gonna cut it, but a credit card with a points program does cut it. And look, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what the situation is in Nigeria or in India or in Uzbekistan around credit cards. I don't know, but I know for the United States and for Europe, these things exist. And I definitely want you to look into them. Okay, this is a fireside chat with your girl, Nikki Banz. Today we're talking travel. We're talking travel, which was a topic that a lot of people have asked me about. So we talked about flights, okay? We talked about flights. The other thing that I want to talk about now, and if you have questions about flights, please comment, please drop them in the chat. I know I'm really not talking about like, oh, should I fly economy? Should I fly business? Look, I don't have enough money to be flying business class on big international flights, especially not on Qatar, right? A flight will be like $30,000. Ain't nobody trying to spend $30,000 on a business class flight. If somebody wants to pay for me to fly that, I will certainly fly that, but I'm not paying for that myself yet. So I'm still flying economy, but that's okay. It's okay to do that in the short term while you're building up to being able to fly in business class or in first class, all right? It's all good. It's all Gucci. So now that we've talked about flights, I want to talk about accommodation. This is my biggest travel hack. Accommodation is truly my biggest travel hack because I do not pay for accommodation anywhere that I travel to. I try my best not to, unless it's like, for example, I'm going to Afro Nation in Portugal with my homies this summer, like US summer. Okay, that we had to pay for accommodation. I'm not staying at a friend's house. But truly, if it's possible, travel to places where you have friends. Travel to places where you have family, because when you travel to those spaces and those places, you can stay with your friends, you can stay with your family, and then you don't have to pay for accommodation. Like I said before, you're gonna have to pay for a flight. That's the reality. But if you don't have to pay for accommodation, you could be saving anywhere from $50 to hundreds of dollars a night by not paying for that accommodation. So rethink your travel plans. Okay, maybe you want to travel to this exotic destination, or maybe you want to travel to this place because everyone's going there. Do you know somebody there? Do you know someone that you can stay with? Do you have a friend of a friend? You know, oh, you're coming to Cape Town. Why don't I DM Nikki Banz and say, hey, I'm coming to Cape Town. Do you know of anyone who has a spare room? Do you know somewhere where there's cheap accommodation? Like literally try your best to avoid paying for accommodation and book your travel plans around it. I literally, if you see all my travels, I rarely travel to brand new places where I don't know anyone. Y'all will see me on Instagram always hanging out with friends whenever I travel because I'm literally going to visit my friends. I'm literally going to Cyprus to visit my great friend who lives in Cyprus, and I stay at her house and we drive her car when she goes around. Of course, I'm gonna contribute to petrol, I'm gonna contribute to gas, I'm gonna contribute to food and things like that. So I'm not saying you're not gonna have any costs at all, but you're not gonna pay $200 a night for a hotel room. Okay, so do your best to get accommodation covered one way or another because it's the biggest expense that you can take off of your traveling. So that is like my number 2 travel hack. Literally start to rethink your travel plans in that way. And I'm gonna be completely honest, this is very much like solo travel, single, young girl like talking, right? If you have a family, if you're traveling with a partner, you're probably not going to be able to do this. If you have a family and you're traveling with kids, look, the reality is you actually need a space. You're going to have to pay for accommodation. Maybe with a partner, you have a friend who has a second bedroom and you two can stay together, you and your partner in that place. Maybe, right? But if you're traveling solo, if you're just going around like that, there is a strong chance that you should be able to just like find someone who you can crash with. And there's other things too, right? There's couch surfing. There is like pet sitting. You can literally find like groups on Facebook where you can like babysit someone's pets, right? They live in Spain and they're traveling to Portugal for a week and they need someone to watch their pets, and then you can literally stay at their house for free and watch their pets during that process. Couch surfing is an amazing platform where you can crash with strangers around the world on their couch and they'll show you around. That's an awesome platform. For all my ladies out there, there's an incredible Facebook group called Host a Sister, and it's literally an opportunity to go find accommodation for other women around the world. So if you want to feel safe, you want to stay with another woman, Host a Sister is an amazing Facebook platform for you to do that. So that's also something super interesting. So there's lots of ways that you can get your accommodation covered because accommodation is a huge cost that hopefully you shouldn't have to pay for. And it's one of the ones that you can actually like not pay for. Flights, you gotta pay for. Accommodation, you don't have to. All right, party people. Keep your comments coming. This is a Nikki Banz live fireside chat. We're talking all things travel today. We talked first about flights. We talked about credit card points and frequent flyer miles and sticking with one airline so that you can build up, a rapport with that airline, get their points, get their frequent flyer miles, and then fly for free. Secondly, we have talked about accommodation and trying your best to travel to places where you know people so that you don't have to pay for accommodation. You can sleep next to your best friend in a bed. You can crash on your friend's couch. You can sleep in a friend of a friend's second room, right? Doing those sorts of things to mitigate the accommodation cost, okay? So this is the travel fireside chat. We have talked flights, we've talked accommodation. Now I want to talk about why travel. And I thought it was important for me to finish this dialogue and finish this conversation today with why travel, because this for me is the most important thing. And look, for me, I travel because the world right now, as it exists, is violent. The world is so violent. The world is violent to women. The world is violent to people of color. The world is violent to people of different religions, depending on where you are in the world. The world is violent. And the only way that we can create a more inclusive, a more tolerant, a more thoughtful society where we can actually understand the lived experiences of other people around us, where we can actually mitigate violence in this world, is by understanding other people. We have to travel. We have to put ourselves in situations that make us uncomfortable in brand new environments. We have to go to cities and to cultures and to countries and to communities that are radically different from our own. The world depends on it. Ending the violence and intolerance in this world depends on it. So if you are sitting there at home watching this on Instagram, watching this on YouTube, and you're like, I'm very comfortable where I am and I don't want to go anywhere else, I refuse. You have to put yourself out there and you have to go into environments that are different, even if they are scary, because the world depends on it. We depend on people traveling, people opening up their eyes, broadening their perspectives on what's happening across the globe. We depend on that in order to channel resources, to channel money, to channel aid, to channel energy towards the diversification and inclusion of this world. It is absolutely critical. So for me, this is the why around travel. And I think oftentimes we end up going to places that are really popular, right? Like a lot of people are like, oh, I'm gonna go to Paris. I'm gonna go to London. They're gonna go to these like places. If you're going to South America, you're only going to Machu Picchu, right? People end up traveling to places that seem very familiar, like a lot of other people have gone to. That's cool, no shade to that. But I personally try my best to go to places that people are not regularly going to, because I want to know and I want to understand what that is like. And some of those countries include Sudan, a absolutely beautiful country with the most gorgeous people with huge hearts. And there's a whole war happening in Sudan right now between two vicious warlords. And actually, at the end of the day, so many people don't even know about it because so many people are so petrified to even go to Sudan. I remember being on the plane going to Khartoum from Addis, right? Like I had a layover in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. I was going to Khartoum, the capital of Sudan. And literally, there was a woman there who worked for the United States government. She worked for the State Department. And she was like, why are you going to Sudan? And I was like, oh, I'm wedding hopping. And she was like, excuse me? And I was like, yeah, my friend's brother's getting married. And I have some other friends who are getting married, so I'm going to go to weddings for 2 weeks. And she was like she was so, like she had no understanding of why I would do that. And so many people gave me that same feedback. Why are you afraid to go to Sudan? Why are you afraid to go to Palestine? Why are you afraid to go to countries that are different? Why are you afraid to go to Equatorial Guinea? Now look, I'm not saying put yourself in active war zones. I strongly suggest not going to Sudan right now in the middle of this awful war that's happening, right? But like places that are different are not scary. Places that are different are simply just different. And you haven't taken the time to understand the nuances of that difference. And if you don't take the time to understand the nuances of other people's differences, what makes you think other people are going to take the time to understand the nuances of the differences of you? We have to start coming together. We have to start going to places that make us uncomfortable. We have to start going to places that are difficult. We have to start going to places that are off the beaten path. You can go to Paris or London whenever. Pick somewhere else. Go to a brown country. Go to South America. Go visit somewhere on the African continent, right? Travel to places where there is so much culture, so much history, so much life. Why is it? You must ask yourself, why is it that traditional media doesn't want you to see anything about some of these countries in the world? Why don't you ever see anything about Cameroon? Why don't you ever see anything about Algeria? Why don't you ever see anything about Ecuador? Why don't you ever see anything about Guatemala? You have to ask yourselves these questions. There's so much beauty, there's so much richness in these spaces, and it's literally up to us to connect those dots and to amplify and showcase what they have across the globe, because traditional media isn't doing it. World leaders and people that be aren't doing it. It is truly up to us to create those more inclusive environments that we want to see. And like I said, when we choose to understand other people, when we choose to understand different perspectives, different languages, different cultures, different food, different dances, we really start to realize, actually, we are not that different at all. We actually start to realize that this world that we live in is so interconnected. There are so many things that are so aligned. I'll give you an example. I went to Guam earlier this year. There's another example of a place that everybody was like, why in the hell are you going to Guam, right? And I had a friend who lived there. You know me, so I said, I only travel where I can get free accommodation. I'm gonna go stay with my friends all over the world. I had a friend who was in the United States Navy, and I said, I'm gonna go visit my friend. So I went to Guam. Guam is this tiny little island nation out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It's above Australia and Papua New Guinea and Indonesia. It's like, and it's below Japan and the Philippines. It's literally just like out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It took me so long to get there from South Africa. Okay? And for me, Guam was absolutely fascinating for so many reasons. I learned so much. I had no idea about the institutionalized colonialism of Guam. The fact that the United States owns Guam as a colony was fascinating. I didn't know anything about that. Nobody is talking about that. Okay, free Guam. Let me just say it right here on Nikki Banz Live. You heard it here first. Hashtag free Guam. That's number one, right? I learned so much about the local people, the Chamorro people, about the Pacific Islander culture that they have. Just this beautiful culture, this richness of their food, of their dances, of their outfits, is all these things. And no one is doing that. No one is sharing those stories. No one is sharing those things. And, for me to go to a place like that, I'm incredibly privileged. I'm incredibly blessed to be able to do those things. I understand that, and I know that, but no one would have ever told me to go to Guam. And by choosing to go there, by choosing to find a new space, I am breaking down barriers. I'm breaking down misconceptions that people around the world have of a place like Guam, because they simply don't know. And we have to create spaces where people feel comfortable and safe to learn and to know and to grow, because like I said, there is so much violence in the world related to intolerance. There's so much violence in the world related to this lack of understanding and misinformation around countries and around cultures. And when you take the time to immerse yourself in those spaces, you will realize that we are so much more similar than you would have ever imagined. And okay, this is why I was talking about Guam in the first place. So I was at the the National Museum of Guam, which is phenomenal, by the way. It is literally the best museum of a colonized nation I have ever seen in my life. They were literally like, these are all the countries that colonized us. These are the countries that currently colonize us. Like, yo, they were just so bold. It was fast. It was fascinating. It was phenomenal. And we're watching this intro video where they're speaking Chamorro. They're speaking the local language in Guam. And I'm hearing words that sound like Spanish. And I'm like, that's so interesting. Like, there's so many words. We're out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, in the middle of nowhere, and there's so many words that sound like Spanish. That, like, why would that be? And then I find out at the Guam Museum that the Spanish were the first people to colonize Guam. And so here I am, having learned Spanish, living in the United States, living in California, living in Texas. I'm living in South Africa. I go to Guam to visit a friend, and here in Guam, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, there are words from Spanish integrated into their local language. Like, what? Mind blown. And that's what I'm saying, that actually at the end of the day, we're not that different. Us from all over the world, no matter what religion you are, you're a Muslim, you're a Hindu, you're a Buddhist, you're a Christian, you're a Catholic, we are not that different. in terms of race. You're black, you're white, you're Asian, you're Latino, you're whatever. We are not that different. No matter what language you speak Sepedi, you speak Spanish, you speak English, you speak French, you speak Arabic, you speak Mandarin, we are not that different. So look, y'all, I wanted to end on this note because I think it's critical. This is literally the whole point of Nikki Banz Live. The whole point of this show is to bring together folks from across the globe so that you can hear directly from someone from Guam. You can hear directly from someone from Tanzania. You can hear directly from someone from Uzbekistan. I'm literally bringing you people on this show who are representing countries that you've never heard of or never been to before, never even dreamed of. And I'm trying to bridge that gap for you. And honestly, I hope it's working. So everybody, this has been a Nikki Banz Live Fireside Chat. I'm not going to keep you too much longer. It's just me chopping it up here with y'all. We're going to have more guests on Nikki Banz Live coming to you very, very soon. I've got some really exciting presenters from around the world, some very interesting YouTubers on the docket coming up very soon. And I really appreciate y'all rocking with me and y'all vibing with me here for Nikki Banz Live. I hope you all know that Nikki Banz Live is not sponsored and is not paid for. Your girl Nikki Banz is out here just doing this, waiting for a sponsor to come along. Continue to do this every single week because it is absolutely critical that I share these perspectives and then you all get to ask questions and be engaged in this type of conversation. So I will continue doing this every single Tuesday for as long as it takes for Netflix or Disney Plus or Amazon Prime to call me and say, hey, Nicole, we love the show. We're going to give you $1 million to do it. I'm like, great, here we go. I'm ready. So everybody, let me take a little sip of my orange juice. And I just want to say thank you for rocking with me here. Nikki Banz Live is one of my absolute favorite things to do. Even when I don't have another guest, I'm coming in hot and I'm going to be talking to you and dropping all sorts of bars. So I hope you enjoyed this little travel breakdown today. If you didn't watch the whole thing, you didn't catch the whole thing, just a reminder, this was the Travel Fireside Chat. We talked flights, we talked accommodation, and we talked why travel. If you have any questions, leave me comments on Instagram, leave me comments on YouTube, youtube.com/@ Nicole Banister, aka Nikki Banz. Leave me comments so I can make sure that I respond to all of your comments and answer all of your questions about travel, about cross-cultural dialogue, about integrating and immersing ourselves in different cultures. All right? Never, ever forget it. Y'all can comment or you can DM me and I am definitely going to respond. Everybody, this has been a Nikki Banz Live Fireside Chat. Happy Tuesday. Nikki Banz Live is your favorite interview series where I'm bringing you exclusive conversations with some of the most dynamic entertainers, artists, activists, and entrepreneurs from across the globe. Every single week is a different guest from a different country, and I couldn't do any of it without you. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for following me on Instagram @TheyCallMeBanz. Thank you for following me on YouTube, youtube.com/@ Nicole Banister, aka Nikki Banz. And I will see you right here next Tuesday. All right, everyone. This is Nikki Banz Live. See you next Tuesday.